Thank you so much, Enitan. Is that okay? If
Yeah,
I call
any
you Enitan?
or any is
Oh,
fine too.
Eni. Okay, yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for donating to the Nigerian Center, and thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview with us. My first question for you is, what draws you to the work of the Nigerian Center?
So I came across the Nigerian Center actually earlier this year through an organization that I had just completed a fellowship with. They interviewed Binga, who I believe is the CEO, about this really cool project that you all were working on, which was basically called, I don't know if you can see, Washington's Prosperity.
Yes, yeah.
And especially this year with all and leading up to this year, all the anti-immigrant rhetoric that has been going on in this country, and also the increase in ICE arrests and just really unconstitutional harassment against immigrants. I just really thought this public information campaign was very timely, and I think I reshared it on LinkedIn and wondered what it would look like to have something like that in Philadelphia, because I believe Bingo was also inspired by the NYC Proud immigrant storytelling campaign that happened and brought that to Washington, D.C. So that's how I learned about the Nigerian Center. And as a fellow Nigerian, I was also very excited, and I was like, what is this place? I had not heard of it, and I looked into you all and was very excited about your work.
Wow, that is so cool. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that our work impacted you in Philadelphia. So the second question I have for you is how has the Nigerian Center made a positive impact on the immigrant community?
Well, the most I can speak to, I think as part of the immigrant community in the United States, being born in Nigeria myself, I think that the existence of the center in itself is very exciting. And it also shows just how far the Nigerian community, the African community has come in the United States, at least even over the past, 2 decades or so. I remember when my family and I came to the US 2 decades ago, something like the Nigerian Center just it was just unspoken of. And so for me, at least as a Nigerian immigrant in the United States, it was just exciting. And it was just like, oh wow, like it's much needed work, the policy work you all are doing, the assimilation, helping the Nigerian community, get settled in the United States, whether it's recent arrivees or first generation. You're offering ways for folks to be able to connect. And I think it is important, the location as well, in the nation's capital, which allows you to be a connector across all through the United States. And so for me, as an immigrant, as a Nigerian in the United States, it's a beacon of just how far we've come and how far we have to go, and to know that there is another connector that's help the diaspora, continue to flourish abroad. It's really exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. At what age did you immigrate to the US?
I was about 8, 9 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I could have sworn that you were born and raised here,
I
but
get that a lot. The accent.
that is interesting. Okay. So, what inspired you? I think you kind of answered this, but what inspired you to become a donor or supporter of the Nigerian Center?
Yeah, so through my job, I'm very grateful to be able to, give through just, I think we call them staff discretionary grants. And so each year I get to choose an organization. And this year, again, with all the attacks against immigrant communities, I just really felt strongly about giving to organizations that serve the immigrant community. And I was very excited again to learn about the Nigerian Center, because as a Nigerian, I want to be able to support my community, as we are part of the, overall immigrant communities that are being affected by, just very xenophobic policies and, actions. And so, yeah, once I knew about the center, it was a no-brainer. And I knew that, I wanted to be able to give, to be able to advance the work that you all are doing to support our communities.
Wow, thank you so much for thinking about us, your community. Does your own immigrant story or family background influence your support in any way?
Yeah, it does. Well, like what I shared, being a Nigerian and being an immigrant and just knowing the journey it takes, I really loved that Washington's Prosperity campaign you all did and basically sharing that immigrants are agents of prosperity. We are business owners, we're community leaders, and we bring so much good, we bring so much knowledge that we come to share and so much, innovation. And I I see that in my family, I see that in my community here in Philadelphia, and that's why I want us to also have that sort of campaign here. So I do believe that immigrants are agents of prosperity, and I want us to be able to continue to push against the lies and negative narratives of us, being moochers or not hardworking or anything like that, because it's simply that, it's untrue. And so, yeah, I really, really see that in my own story, and I want that to continue to be propelled in the real world.
Thank you so much. Is there any moment, story, or event connected to the Nigerian Center that has stayed with you?
I would say your Washington Prosperity campaign. Again, I really just thought it was a genius idea. And again, knowing the NYC Proud campaign as well, and knowing the story behind that, I was very excited to see that being, replicated or being brought to Washington. And I think I seeing it being brought to Washington gave me this inspiration of like, oh, it doesn't have to just stay in New York, right? Like, how do we bring this all across the country, to show how immigrants are, uplifting and contributing to our communities?
Great. Thank you. And how do you think the center is shifting narratives about Black immigrants or the broader African diaspora in the United States?
I think the center is contributing to the integral story that, there are Black immigrants. I think sometimes Black immigrants get lost in the shuffle when we talk about the immigrant story. We tend to think about, our brown brothers and sisters, whether they are, Latine or, whether they are Southeast Asian. And I think that it continues to you all are contributing to the work of dispelling the idea of Blackness being a monolith, while like you are contributing to the narrative that Blackness is rich, Blackness is filled with different cultures. You have African Americans, you have Afro Latinos, you have Afro Caribbeans, you have Nigerians and Ghanaians. Like, there's so much richness in the Black diaspora, and Black immigrants are also being affected by these policies. Black people are being affected by these policies. And so I just think you all are helping to shine a light on our stories and our experiences in the United States.
Great, great. Wonderful. Thank you. What would you say to someone who's thinking about supporting the Nigerian Center for the first time?
I mean, I would say, go ahead and do it. Get to know the work, of course, but they're supporting integral work, they're supporting urgent work, timely work, and yeah, it's really, really great work I see you all doing.
Yes. And what do you hope your support will help make possible for the Nigerian Center in years to come?
That one is more challenging. I don't know. I hope you all can do with it what you see the need is right now. I
Mhm.
feel like it can only go so far, but I do hope in this time it's able to provide some sort of help.
Right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to interview with us.